again walking down Lake Botanical Gardens after a visit to the war. I really was curious to see how old these trees could be. I suppose, I don't know if, I doubt they have more than a century. They've probably been planted in maybe some of them 1960s, but I mean, some of them really look huge. And now we are going to an area that is just devoted to palm trees. Yeah, I'm not sure why, if it is a kind of recognition of the importance of palm oil for the region. Honestly, I don't have data statistics about how much palm oil is widespread in PNG. I know most of palm oil is grown in Indonesia. But yeah, for sure, even here they have a lot. And yeah, actually yesterday I was discussing the issue with the manager of a company who does community development programs in conjunction with palm oil extraction. And he told me that in order to grow a palm oil field, you need to clear the ground and then plant these trees here. So these are the palm trees, and then you have to wait 25 years before they bear some fruit. So basically the local communities lose revenues from the activity for 25 years, and in the meantime they must be somehow compensated by the company. So there is a big gap between planting, but his point was that they clearly, these are trees, and as every tree they have absorptive capacity of CO2. So wouldn't the balance between cutting down old forest and the planting a new one being overall sustainable? And the answer is no, because when you clear the forest to make space for palm trees, then you do two things. Of course, you cut down trees that already have stored a lot of CO2, and it will take a while, at least 25 years, before, well, maybe not 25 years, but it will take time before palm trees start absorbing CO2. I think also they have a lower absorptive capacity, but also a lot of CO2 is stored in the peatland, in the land underneath the trees that are cut down. And of course these are forests that could be there for millions of years, and so there is a lot of CO2 under the ground which is released. And yeah, many times you hear of fires that come out precisely because of the methane release. So that's why overall the deforestation due to palm oil is so impactful in terms of emissions. And I mean, in itself, they don't need the wood from the palm, they only need the fruit. I think these are now young, so they're still young, so I don't see any fruit. But you would see fruit on top, on the very top. And yeah, so basically they get the oil by squeezing the fruit that is collected from the top of the tree. And then once the tree starts giving fruit, it's kind of continuous, so it regenerates palm fruit very, very quickly. And I suppose that's also why actually production of palm oil is efficient in terms of the land that you need to use, because other sources of oil like sunflower, rapeseed, and other soybean oils, okay, in order to produce the same amount of oil, you would need to use a much larger amount of land. This is what I learned from my reading in the area. And so overall, I mean, if you, let's say no to palm oil and then you switch to soybean, so if you want to boycott palm oil just for the sake of it, and then you switch to soybean, actually you may end up with an even higher rate of deforestation. So the objective should really be stop deforestation rather than just going against the palm oil just for the sake of it. And in the book I published in Italian, I made the point that I kind of think that behind well, not behind, but the reason why the success by the campaign by organizations like Greenpeace against palm oil and those other companies, all other organizations, was so successful was that basically it was aligning with the interests of Western food companies, the so-called Big Four, so-called A, B, C, D, Dreyfus, Cargill, and I don't remember the other two, which don't have interests in palm oil because they don't grow palm oil, they grow rapeseed and soybean in Brazil. So they actually have incentive. They like the idea of boycotting palm oil because this means to use more of the oil that they produce, which is overall using even more land, and so the overall impact could be of actually higher environmental destruction boycotting palm oil. So these are some of the really contradictions that come up if you don't have really let's say a holistic approach. If you only look at a silos approach, you only look at one sector without looking at the consequences of limiting production in one sector. Anyway, I wish I had a guide to tell me more, but I think I'm the only visitor today. There were some employees, quite a few actually, of the Botanical Garden, but I tried to ask whether they would come with me, but they said no. Okay, so I think that's all for my touristy part for today.